This is Boomer Life on CL 650.
I don't care too much for money. Money can buy me love. Can buy me love. Everybody tells me so.
Well, they may not care much about money, but I know you and I do. Welcome back to Boomer Life here on CL 650. I'm Sterling Fox, joined in studio by George Abakhan of Abakhan and Associates. They are trustees in bankruptcy and proposal administrators. They offer debt solutions to British Columbians in offices in Vancouver, Surrey, Victoria, Vernon, and Prince George as well. Nicole Clark is also with us in studio. Nicole is a bankruptcy and insolvency counselor with Abakhan and Associates. It's Boomer Life, George. You and I are boomers. Nicole is studying to be one. And in no darn hurry to catch up to us either, I hasten to add. But, you know, for those of us who are in our boomer and senior years, many of us had never planned on ending up in debt at this point in our lives, and so many of us are. And you know, you're coming off a working career where all of a sudden that cash flow isn't going to be there. You're transitioning into retirement. Maybe with luck you've got a pension or investments, or maybe not. But either way, the debt goes with you and follows you from the working years into your retirement, where it can get even more uncomfortable.
Well, that's right, and especially with boomers, they come from an era when bankruptcy was really a bad taste in the mouth, and they didn't want to go bankrupt.
Right.
So when we generally they may come to us actually on the advice of their offspring, who are now trying to support them.
Sure.
With their debt. I mean, I had one situation on the island where there was a man and wife, obviously, and they had got a lot of debt, and they were being supported by the payments were being made by their offspring, and that young lady was getting very tired of making substantial payments. And so what we organized was basically a settlement. I think it was around 25 cents on the dollar. But then she was willing to add surety and make sure that the payments would be made.
Right.
As a result of that, the creditors, recognizing that these elderly people in the realm of 72, 73 years old, may not survive for the full proposal. So it was accepted.
Interesting.
And we have many situations like that. We'll have elderly people suddenly having their wages garnished or their pension garnished.
Right, right.
And it's kind of devastating for them.
I can well imagine. Nicole, you're part of the front-line troops at Abakhan and Associates. Does it surprise you at all how many boomers and seniors call?
No, I don't think I'm surprised. I feel like at every age there is some debt happening. You know, a lot of times, like George said, bankruptcy was sort of a bad word. And I feel that a lot of people, elder people, they really do have this moral feeling that they want to get through their debt. They absolutely don't want to file bankruptcy. Tears and everything. It's a really difficult thing.
Of course.
And also, what I do see with the elder people is that there's one person in the family household that's taking care of the money, and they're the ones dealing with the bills, or they have the debt and maybe have not shared everything. And a lot of times it is the man, and the woman was supported by this and doesn't know.
Right.
And then what happens is if he's fallen ill or at worst passed away, then the woman who has not ever taken care of these bills or these finances, who is joint and co-signed on everything,
right,
is now stuck to deal with this stress at a time when she's grieving or worried about the health of her husband. So like George says, the children do step in to help with that. But
the children may find it difficult to make the payments. Like if you got a couple of $100,000 worth of debt that's you've been struggling and cashing in RSPs and TFSAs and so on, and you're elderly and you don't quite understand the process. All you know is that these people are harassing you, and you make the payments to stop the phone calls, etc. And then the children, of course, who aren't necessarily children, are 45, 50 years old.
Oh, sure,
maybe.
with lives and children of their own. Absolutely.
And so they're making payments, and then they suddenly find that they're struggling. So that's when we can work out a mutual deal. Yes, the children will maybe guarantee or add surety that the payments will be made, but generally we can actually work out a deal within the payments, within the pension payments of the individual, so that I mean, we've had settlements with these elderly people down to 12 cents.
Right.
12 cents on the dollar.
Right. And again, it's the honorable solution to a problem that they just are so uncomfortable with.
And if they make a settlement, they feel that they're contributing.
Absolutely.
We give them hope that they don't. We stop the harassment, and really it feels very good at times.
I'll bet it does, George. Only a couple of minutes left here. A word or two of advice from you, sir, if you would, with respect to boomers and their parents and gifting of either cash or real estate or significant amounts of money or goods to those future generations, co-signing and gifting.
Well, co-signing is a little different than gifting. Co-signing generally means that you don't have the cash to be able to buy the thing outright.
Right.
If you gift it, you're transferring title, and you have no way of getting the money back. I mean, you're gifting it. But are you actually helping the situation? Are you helping the person by doing it? I mean, an initial gift at a wedding or something like that. But as you go down the road, if you keep on gifting, then you're not helping the person.
Well, you know, the headlines in the paper just a couple of days ago, George, on the weekend, 40% of homes purchased in Greater Vancouver these days by young people are with the assistance of some older person in their lives.
Well, that's the price of living in Vancouver. I mean, if you go to Prince George, you know, $10,000 will go a long way further than $10,000 here. You can even buy a house for a down payment of $10,000.
Exactly. So again, but in terms of co-signing particularly, be very, very careful and make sure that you understand that you have conversations with the person you're co-signing with, so that this isn't just you show up at the bank, you flourish a signature, and you walk away and Bob's your uncle.
But if they do
Never
co-sign,
that easy.
They may end up having to come to us, and we can handle the co-sign.
Okay. So even before...
No. After they've co-signed, and after they run into trouble, then they should talk to us, and we can handle the co-sign by way of a settlement of some sort.
Interesting.
In all probability.
So again, as we talked about at the very beginning of the show, Abakhan and Associates pride themselves on being problem solvers, and debt solutions are a big problem in a lot of British Columbians' lives.
Debt solutions are us.
That's right. And it's good to have you back with us on the program, George Abakhan. Abakhan.com, by the way, Abakhan. Nicole Clark, lovely of you to stop by and visit us as well, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Great, thank you.
My pleasure. See you next time, right here on Boomer Life.